what's going on, guys? Today we got another little bit of a vlog topic day for you guys. And today's topic that I was thinking about the other day, I was talking with my wife, and I've been, not struggling to find topics, but I want to find some good quality topics. Whether it deals with cars, this, that, and the other. I really try and, really make it pertinent to this channel. And today, what I thought about talking about when I was thinking the other day, I was like, what am I going to do for this week's vlog? I thought, let's do something on a road trip, okay? The reason why I brought this up is this weekend, I'm probably going to that Auto Geek Detailing Fest down there in Stuart, Florida. It's about an hour and a half from south of me, right down the turnpike, so it won't be very long to get there. And that's the one that I always tell you about, Auto Geek. It's here in Florida, good deals. I buy a lot of my DA polishers from them, buy pads from them, any of the high-end wax from them, like the Pinnacle Sovereign, which is the best wax I've ever tried. And all that stuff. Oh my god, that retarded ass camber on a fucking Camry, and the whole bumper is missing because he went his bumper fell off. Anyways, so what I thought about is what a good topic today would actually be on road trips. And I know everybody has had to do it here, whether they wanted to or they didn't want to. So that was me for the longest time. When I was a little kid, we started when I was born and everything. I was living in South Florida, in Hollywood, Florida. If you look it up on the map, it's just south of Fort Lauderdale, but just north of Miami. And we would go up to visit Illinois every single year, Central Illinois, where my dad's from. And we would have to get in the car and drive the 20-something hours up there. It was awful. Sometimes they would make it in one day, sometimes they'd make it in 2 days. But I just wanted to scream and get out of that car. You're trapped in the back seat of your parents' four-door car for 20-something hours. It was so annoying. And I would love to know how much you guys have been in the car. Now, since then I was a kid, I have traveled a lot of places on my own. Like, I've driven my own cars. I've taken that blue Prelude all the way from Pensacola, Florida, where I was, which is up in the Panhandle, all the way up to Rochester, New York, where my mom was at after my parents split. And then from there, we went over through Niagara Falls, stopped in Niagara Falls with me and was the girlfriend at the time. We weren't married yet. And then we went up to Toronto and cut all the way over on the lake and actually stopped and came back through over here. Wow, look at the cops. What the heck is going on here? Damn! 3 cops on one car. That sucker either has some drugs on his ass or he's doing something wrong. He's got guns on him, this, that, and the other. That is wild. A funny note, I just saw the Pontiac GTO. Get this, guys. There's a Pontiac GTO just peeled off the side there. One day I was riding home from work, so I was coming back this way, and we were up there at the light. I passed him way back up the road, okay? And I was just cruising along doing like 50, 55. No big deal, right? Anyways, the guy got up to the second light up here, not this light, but the next light, which is Buenaventura Lakes, where we're going to turn to the left at. And he decides he's going to race. And I didn't really care. It was like 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock. I was like, I'm not interested in racing. I was just sitting there at the light. Well, he just floors it out of nowhere and just goes. And I'm like, what the hell? And so I get up to speed, doing about 50. Well, right in the rear view mirror of my camera, I see this car. As you can see, it's really busy today. It's a little bit busier than what it normally should be on this road. And this car's doing this number right here in my rear view camera. And he's just sitting there and weaving back and forth. As a matter of fact, there he is right there. That's him in that GTO right there. He's just weaving back and forth, coming up, and I'm like, oh shit, it's a cop. I know it is. Not that late at night somebody's gonna weave like that on me and have the typical cop lights, You can see the inside yellow lights. You guys all know, if you're from the United States, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, he floors it like I said, and then just gets way past me doing like 65, 70 miles an hour. That cop goes boom right on by me and pulls his ass over. I was dying laughing here, because a lot of times the cops love to sit on this side street here that connects through. And I'm like, you damned idiot. And that's funny, he just passed. I wonder if he remembers that. I'm sure his pocketbook remembers it. But let's get back on topic here when we're dealing with the road trip. So like I said, I went all the way up around the lake around Canada, Lake Ontario, and then I came back through and stopped to visit my friend in Fort Drum, New York, up at the Army base up there. And so me and my wife made that super long trip. I used to make that trip to New York for the 3 years in a row when my mom was up there after the divorce. Now she lives back in Jacksonville, Florida again, so it's only 2.5 hour drive. But I had to make that drive every single year, and it was 22 to 23 hours depending on traffic, and that was doing about 80 miles an hour average. So to be stuck in my blue Prelude for that many hours, my back would be hurting, I hated life, everything just sucked. And I know you know how that is, and you guys are like, oh, just don't remind me. I would say that's one of my longest trips that I've done. What else would I say? Oh, I have made a trip from Pensacola, Florida to Austin, Texas. That wasn't that bad. I think it was 9.5 hours to get out there from Pensacola, Florida. What else? Oh, I'd say probably the longest I've ever had to sit in the car was either those trips from South Florida to Illinois, or I made one trip by myself all the way from Rochester, New York to visit my girlfriend right before we got married, all the way in Miami where she was doing some of her med school clinicals. And I made that in one day. And let me tell you, it was a long day, and I was really getting drowsy on the road. I actually had to pull over and stop for sleep for about an hour or so in the Fort Pierce rest stop because I was just zonked out. And I just couldn't make it. And I know, you know, there's no point in being stupid out there on the road when you just can sit there and pull over and sleep. So that's all I did. I slept for like 2 hours, woke back up, and finished the drive the last 2 hours down to Miami. And that was just crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I used to love doing those road trips, and then when my wife was doing her residency up there in Georgia and had to always go up there, and I'd always drive to Georgia at least once a month, man, I burned myself out on those road trips so bad. Now everybody's like, well, why don't you go to Z-Days again? And if you know anything about Z-Days, Z-Days is up in North Carolina and the Tennessee line, where it's the big tail of the dragon where the cars, you know, all doing this through the mountains and stuff. And yes, that does sound appealing to me, but after so many road trips, I just can't force myself to sit there another 10 hours in that chair. And I did it one time, my very first time, before I had this channel rolling and stuff. I drove all the way to Z-Days, and I couldn't do it again. I was cringing so bad because I had to be in the seat for so long. I said, no way, I'm done with this stuff. So, yeah, that's my little bit of a story time on, there's Z right there, on, you know, those road trips. I would love to hear where you guys went. My wife told me when she was younger, twice now, they went from Jacksonville, Florida, which is right on the East Coast, on the beaches, all the way over to LA in California. She's also been to the Grand Canyon and stuff. She said it was horrible. It's like 3 days of straight driving to get out there. Anymore nowadays, just call me lazy. I just want to get on a plane and go out there. We can rent a car, do whatever we got to do, and that's all I really want to do. I'm like, I can't deal with it anymore. So now anywhere we're going, we're going to take that flight. I just don't even want to be there, and I know in a couple hours I'm just going to get off the plane and we're already there. I don't have to wait for the 15, 20-hour flight drive anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm starting now to decide what we want to do for our summer break here, for summer vacation, and see where we want to go, where we're going to pick, and go from there. Originally, we were thinking about going to Hawaii, so if anybody's from Hawaii, holler at me. If any of my subscribers are from Hawaii, there's got to be at least one. Holler at me and tell me what it's like out there, and is it worth visiting. The problem was we were going to fly out to Honolulu and then hop on a cruise, a Carnival cruise that starts in Honolulu. It's like 6 days going around the islands, and then you got to do 5 straight days at sea getting to Vancouver, Canada, as it starts its summer runs up there in Alaska. So I was like, dude, I just can't handle being cooped up in a ship for 5 days straight, and that's just like what it is. You can go walk across the ship all day long, do this, that, and the other, but you are stuck on board that ship for fucking 24 hours a day, 5 days. I'm gonna do the cut through real quick here. But I don't know. So now what I'm thinking about doing is we're gonna hop on the cruise ship in Puerto Rico. Instead, we're gonna fly down to Puerto Rico, and it's an 8-day cruise instead, and we won't go to Hawaii, but it stops at St. Thomas, St. Martin, and then it goes to Bermuda for 2 days, and then it stops in Jersey. So actually, it's a cheap way for us to get all the way up to New Jersey, and a little bit of a vacation there. How you like this? This is how you beat the lights here in Kissimmee. Yes, yes, that is how you beat it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! I think the speed limit's only 40 through here, so I better just crawl the whole way. But anyways, that is my whole story about having to do road trips, and I'd love to hear what you did. What's the most grueling or the most fun road trip you've ever had out there? I used to love doing them, you know, for a while when I just was new to driving and I wanted to be out there on the road as much as I could. But now I'm beyond burnt out of driving, and I just can't do it anymore, where I'm like, I want to get out of the car. Even going up to Jacksonville 2.5 hours, I'm like, get me out of this damn car. I don't want to be in here anymore. And that's generally my life, guys. I did it too much that I burnt myself out, and I don't want to do it anymore. And I'd rather spend a couple $100 and take that plane flight all the way up there. And yeah, there you go. So guys, tell me what you guys think about this topic. Maybe some topics you would actually like to hear in the future. Give me some things like, hey, talk about this or talk about that. You know what? I'll take those suggestions into mind, and if I can think of a good topic to really go at it and have a lot of fun with, I'll go ahead and use your topic, and I'll give you a shout out in the next video. Like I said, this weekend I'm pretty sure I'm going to Auto Geek Festival down there. I might actually do a vlog on the way down there and release it next week, and then I'll have footage of Auto Geek either wrapped in it or its own separate video. And that is my plan for this coming weekend. But you know, next week, if you got any things you'd like to hear about, tips or whatever, and you're like, oh, Chad, I've got to hear about this. Hey, man, let me know. We'll talk about it. We'll have a good old time. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed sitting here and talking about long road trips. I'm just making my way down the Orange Blossom Trail OBT here in Orlando. And I thought I'd share that with you guys for a few minutes. So, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Like I said, I'm more than welcome to hear from you guys. The channel is really starting to blow up lately. I mean, I was looking at the analytics today. It shows I'm getting 23 and 25 subscribers a day. I used to get 4, 5, 6, and I'd be happy with 10, 11 subscribers a day. Getting 23 and 25 in 2 days back to back, that is amazing. That means somebody is really liking my videos, and I really do appreciate that, guys. So, yeah, big shout out to you guys. If you have any topics, let me know about some topics, and we'll talk about it. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys at the very next video. Later, y'all.